Hello, friends of the YouTubes, and happy Halloween. I'm your host, Duhad. I'm actually just here real quick to do a brief introduction video to what we're going to be doing for the Halloween Spooktacular, which unfortunately is going to be a little less dramatic than it's been in certain previous years, just because it's falling on a Tuesday, and we wanted to do Low Gravity, which we've been playing for a really long time, on the Saturday preceding Halloween, so we didn't do like a horror-themed RPG, which is kind of a tradition with us. So I apologize for that. We might do something this coming week. I don't know, but for now, we're going to be throwing up. I'm going to be doing a Let's Watch of the classic original zombie movie, Night of the Living Dead. I'm going to do a couple of parts, just because I kind of feel like I burn out rather quickly at like the halfway point of like a longer movie. And I don't want to do that, so I'm going to try and like break it up into 2, maybe 3 chunks over a couple of days and just, have all the energy going through all the thing. And I want to not only explain that, but also kind of do a little intro thing to Night of the Living Dead here before starting, because it's a really important movie to me, and this is the first Halloween we've had since the passing of George A. Romero, the father of the zombie film, of the modern zombie film, and of course the director of Night of the Living Dead. So I want to just say a few things to begin with, just to kind of intro it and say something about all this, because as anyone who knows me, anyone who's watched the channel for a while knows, I kind of have a love affair with zombies. In fact, actually, I'll leave that up for just a second. I have a picture I'm going to be putting up, but Evil Dead's like my favorite movie series of all time. I got 2 Evil Dead posters, theatrical posters, both for the first film and the second. Behind me, to my left, I got Army of Darkness. They were kind of like the first horror movies or zombie movies, kind of, that I ever watched. And I mean, they're kind of horror comedies. Did I watch Tremors first, actually? It doesn't matter. Point is, they kind of got me into the horror thing, and while I didn't watch the Romero movies, which I own all of over my DVD collection, along with a few other zombie movies, till later on, I've never, forgotten that I owe, my favorite movies to those films existing, and I love Night of the Living Dead. I love Dawn of the Dead. I love Day of the Dead. I even, kind of enjoy Land of the Dead and Diary of the Dead and the other ones, that Survival of the Dead, that are not as good. I really enjoy some of Romero's other works, like Martin and the Crazies and Creepshow and all that. Like, the man is a goddamn... He's just wonderful. He's just great. His entire filmography... it's hit or miss in a lot of places, but it's goddamn just beautiful. And I got to thank him. I mean, like, Let's Roleplay pretty much wouldn't exist without Unisystem kind of taking my love for role-playing games and supercharging it by giving me a system that I really, really personally just loved. And I played a bunch of zombie board games and zombie card games and shit all over the place, and like those helped me to kind of make friends when I was growing up with other dorky horror fans. I look horrible. I look fucking like I've been not sleeping very well, so I'm just gonna shrink myself and put up the movie poster for Night of the Living Dead. Hey, but yeah, no, like George A. Romero. With his passing, we kind of lost one of the great horror film directors, and one of the great just film directors in general of all time, in my opinion. He's not the most classy film director of all time, not by a long shot, but I think that schlocky, fun, doofy directors who got hands-on with their actors and seem to really enjoy making the films they make, and go hands-on doing stuff with their actors, and going in and like working with practical effects and getting their hands dirty and working with low budget, or having to like struggle with limitations. There's it's not correct really to say that they get underappreciated, because I think every like cinephile in the world, has a massive hard on for people who do that. But not enough people really appreciate like that sort of thing when it happens. I mean, way too many people are like, oh, whatever, it looks corny, it looks crappy. Like, the Evil Dead movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. They're my favorite movies of all time, along with Jaws. And a lot of the effects, especially in the first one and the second one, were accomplished by people swinging, upside down from boards, holding cameras, and running through the woods, while filming, or doing stuff that really kind of came together also with Romero, because Romero was kind of the start of the zero budget but decent quality film. He kind of like legitimized this concept that you could go out with like just a bunch of locals, a bunch of your friends, a bunch of like local actors, like a shoestring budget, but a lot of heart, and make something like Night of the Living Dead, which, while it fucking like blew, like it got horrifying backlash from people for being too gruesome and too gory, and ooh. It was, like it found its audience. It did great, and it kind of helped to let people know, like, you can make these sorts of movies and they can work. The people who make these aren't just random loser exploitation filmmakers. Like, you can do this. And so, I don't know, the world owes a lot to George Romero, not just for zombies. And it's a goddamn shame we don't have him anymore, but his legacy is wonderful. And I just wanted to say thank you, George A. Romero. You were one of a kind. Now I'm going to shit all over your movie and make fun of it. So enjoy, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.